Only real use for rangefinder. For precision range, so you can shoot out their gun before they got you. Because the heavy carronades range is exactly 425 meters. Anyways, for Overrun Red Team, we have the Final Confluence, piloted by Grimmick. It is a Watcherfish with side carronades. And the Nibelung, Mobula, piloted by Dulac. It has a left side Artemis Black top gat and a right side Artemis gat.
And on the blue team, the Maenad Ryders, we have the Dionysus, piloted by the Arius. It is a left side Lumberjack Hwacha Hades Galleon, right side Carronade Hwacha, and a rear Banshee. And we also have the Liberator Zone, another Galleon, piloted by Skybox Hyphen. It is a Minotaur Hwacha Gatling gun, with a right side Hwacha Carronade and a rear flare gun. And we're in combat! Final Confluence, watching up that Galleon.
I'm getting a few carronades.
The fish going in fast while the Mobula trails a bit far behind. Oh, the Final Confluence splitting his fire actually to hit the balloon of the Dionysus while he watches the Liberator Zone. But he's gonna regret going in so early. The Dionysus just ripping into him right now. It looks like he's going out of the fight. Dionysus might be turning to face that Mobula as the Mobula pursues the Liberator Zone. We'll see how things turn out for this Mobula. If it's going to turn out well or bad. It's turned out pretty well for him though right now. Oh, continue.
I'm just noticing we're seeing too much piercing and not enough explosive on this Nibelung against the Liberator. We're seeing break their armor plenty and just not being able to put out with any explosive weapons. But I'm taking it, they need a Hwach and a heavy carronade.
That's because they're flex on the hull side now. The Gatling gunner is a gunner. They're the main gunners on the Gatling. And
one thing they could have done, which normally it's best to have your more reliable gun, the gun that you want to be more reliable on the right side, because you tend to need your whole gunner,
your armor to be more constantly repaired compared to your balloon. Based on the situation. But yeah, I agree. I think the fact that Dionysus was actually hitting their hull pretty hard, the engineer went off to repair at the time that the Galleon lost his armor. So there was not enough flak going down on that.
Now
Dionysus taking advantage of the Nibelung though. He's got carronades, he's got Hwachas, he's got it easy against this double gat Mobula in Periton. That Mobula's on top of a building. His balloon is popped, he is down.
And they do not have choke shoot on the Mobula again.
Goldfish, again we see the sexy cage dancers Goldfish moving into the middle of the battle while the Mobula drags behind.
You know, they do not have kerosene, correct? I think they brought Phoenix Claw instead of kerosene. Really, just drop that Phoenix Claw or drop your shoot vent. You're never gonna really use those two tools. I mean, Phoenix Claw has a minor use, but shoot vent has practically none. Especially if you get popped.
I will actually, as a squid pilot who uses shoot vent, hydrogen, and kerosene.
On Mobula. You're not going to use much shoot vent on Mobula.
Well, the way I will vouch is that shoot vent actually damages your balloon much less. It also has a greater effect than hydrogen. Well, the main reason people don't use shoot vent though is because a lot of guns aim down better than up. So you do need that greater effect in order to actually make use of getting away or escaping with it.
I tend to save my stamina for going down if we need it. Watch it going off on the Liberator.
Fair enough.
But
I will say that shoot vent's probably not that useful on Periton, where buildings could be underneath you, and you just slam yourself into a rock. And the Liberator Zone going down to the Nibelung Final Confluence, being on top of that building. Yeah, just the tip of his sail ramming into that building, just not helping him position and taking damage from it. Red team looks like their Final Conflict's looking to push in. He's getting that watch out, disables all the guns and an engine. Nibelung again, lagging behind his allied Goldfish's actions here.
This lack of kerosene showing.
Oh, you're right, they don't have kerosene. Yeah, the lack of kerosene. No wonder why he's lagging behind so much, he just doesn't have the acceleration. But it's not gonna matter because Liberator's Zone going into this meat grind fest is... Oh, he is going after Nibelung actually. He's hitting that kill ship. Doesn't matter. It was a meat grind. Final Conflux finishes off the other
Managing
galleon.
to break armor, splitting fire extremely
Doing
correctly.
double broadsides on these ships. Yes, he is disabling... He's seeking to disable the Confluence. Took out a couple guns.
Seeking to kill the Nibelung.
Firing on the Nibelung with his watches. Oh, Nibelung taking some damage here. Final Conflux looking to push in.
Liberator
He's
Zone.
pushing.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
having no engines. Okay, they rebuilt their main, but
Final Conflux doing the old Carronade Watcha spin here. Liberator Zone dropping low. Yeah, it looks like he's in repair. Dionysus looks like he is just gonna... Oh, he's actually long ranging right now across this firing lane. But Liberator Zone is just not having a good time against double Gatling guns. And him slowly falling to the earth as he keeps losing his armor. Nibelung getting hit long range from Dionysus actually directly in the line of fire from the firing lane. Nibelung trying to get out of range. That is an interesting spawn position right there. Just taking advantage of this long firing range to actually use long range left side guns on Dionysus.
Nibelung falling very fast. Managed to get their armor back up, but they're not... They can't afford to take any more damage. The final confluence.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
go on. We're both gonna say about the same thing. Anyway.
Yeah. They're getting the better of the Liberator Zone. Gonna pop the
Yeah, the
balloon
final
again.
confluence basically is just on top of the Liberator Zone right now. Liberator
Ow.
Zone is at the mercy of the Watchas and the Carronades.
They can try to
focus.
They can try
All
to
they can do is just hold out as long as they can while the
Or-
Nibelung gets trashed by the Dionysus.
or ram try to keep ramming that fish. I mean, they managed to bump the fish off, which saved them a little bit of time, but they really didn't have the engines to do any more than that.
Liberator Zone showing just how little terrain means to a galleon. He has just been sitting there the whole time, and I don't think his hull's even dropped against this Watcha fish, his Carronade and Watcha, while
Now
he's on the ground even.
now the fish
and now he's
using
being
their
shoved
balloon.
into the ground and sat
And-
on by his ally.
You see that Minotaur just pushing the fish straight into the ground. After the Dionysus popped him with their Carronade. Quite effective.
Just slammed him right in the ground. Dionysus just came on top. Just plopped him right there. Yeah, double Carronade Watcha fish is not very quick to kill.
Oh, especially against these galleons can tank for quite a, if they have two engineers up top, especially. If
Yeah, as you
they
saw,
really
I don't
have to.
think the Liberator Zone, despite being on the ground and right next to that bridge under constant assailment from that fish, he just didn't even lose armor.
No.
The damage was just so small on the galleon because of his mess. Even if the goldfish was on top, I don't think the galleon would have taken that much damage just because he has 4 times the mass at least.
I
Or
typically,
around 4 times the mass.
yes.
Say what?
I was just saying, I typically bring Carronades on fish. The exception is against galleons, where and you see kind of confluence taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, Final Confluence taking a lot of an alpha strike from both of these broadsides. He just spawned in and now he is not ready. Now he is just backing off, not wanting to go in immediately on those 2 broadsides right now. But those galleons keeping the Nibelung pinned down right now, and the Final Confluence. Final Confluence looks like he's actually moving in, striking that watch out on the Dionysus. Dionysus losing most of his guns, but he's got the lumberjack, so he's all right. Yeah, both of these guys are pulling back. They do not want to mess with the double broadside of these galleons. Looks like Liberator Zone's taking advantage of this to go around for a flank. It's quite tricky. If you go for a flank, then your ally can't actually get supported by you. And vice versa, really. Your ally's gonna have trouble supporting you if you don't have line of sight of each other. If one of them gets picked on by the goldfish.
Final confluence may be going down right here, though. Having their balloon popped, managed to keep their armor up. They'll be okay for now, but with help from their Nibelung.
That is a good point. The Final Confluence is almost dead, but the Nibelung out in the middle looks like they're changing focus to the Nibelung now. Final Confluence is basically considered to be out of the fight. Nibelung is just, yeah, he's having trouble against this Gatling, this Hades, in 3 watches.
Either one of these red ships being the last kill of the match.
Yeah, and they're not really in a good position to get out of this from being the last kill of the match. Final Confluence gunning straight for Liberator Zone. Looks like he's making a last-ditch effort.
Trying to engage the Dionysus.
No Watcha at all?
No light flax going into the Dionysus, the Nibelung. Their armor guy had to be on the armor. Which again is why you say
Yes.
you're more reliable. The gun you want to be more reliable on the right side, the balloon side.
Well, that might have been difficult with that lumberjack hitting that mobula, though.
Absolutely.
But otherwise, I agree. In that spot, I don't think either their engineers were in a situation to do much of anything, so all they would have is that one Gatling.
Or not. They did manage to break the armor, but like I said, they had the 2 gas going, but they could not get that light flak going. They had to save their hull.
That was the end of that. Also, another point to be made: the only long-range ship there was the Rider Galleon, Liberation, I think it was.
Yes.
Or no, Dionysus. Dionysus was the only long-range one.
With their lumberjack and Huasha.